Hello, everyone. A very good morning and very good evening to one and all present in the class. Please confirm the chat box if you all can see my screen and hear my voice loud and clear. Yeah, comparatively better thanks to the allopathic medicines, but still it's paining a lot. My throat. Yeah, perfect. I hope my voice is comfortable to everybody, right? This is not feeble and all, no, because today I feel that I'm speaking little feeble. That's why. It's not the mic, it's not the internet, it's my voice. Huh? Yeah, okay, fine. Thank you. So, today we are going to cover two important topics in two ways basically. One is the architectural perspective, and second is, of course, the coding perspective. Okay. Now, till date, what we were doing was we were kind of understanding the framework components. Okay. We understood how to load a model, how to create a chain, how conversations can happen via chain. We have discussed some basic fundamentals of LangChain. Now today we are going to focus on implementing something that can work like an assistant. Now it can be any kind of assistant. I'm not going to stick to any domain here. I'm just going to speak in a very general perspective. So first of all, let me do something in front of you. I want you to observe. Don't worry about the coding for 5 minutes. Just observe the behavior. Then we will discuss the complete concept. Okay. So just give me a minute. Now, everybody please see here. So I have loaded this LLM model. Okay. Once again, I'm not teaching coding, so be very patient with me. Just observe this demo. So I have created this simple prompt. Okay. I'm just taking this prompt. The prompt is, my name is Prashant Nair. I work for VNext Solutions. Let's say this is the prompt I'm submitting it to my template. Let's assume. Okay. And I have created a simple chain like template LLM string output parser. So I'm informing my LLM that, buddy, I am Prashant Nair and I work for VNext Solutions. To which the LLM responded to me, hello Prashant, it's great to meet you. How can I assist you today? Okay, till now looks good. Now I'm asking him a follow-up question. Remember, I'm using the same chain objective below. I'm asking him, like how in Breaking Bad, the character says, say my name. So I'm saying here, what's my name? And you know what this guy says? I'm sorry, but I don't have access to personal information about you unless you share it with me. Now, the irony of this program is I have gave him the context. I gave him an idea that, yes, buddy, my name is Prashant Nair. And you yourself said it's great to meet you. Then why don't you remember me? So remember, what I want you to understand right now is LLMs always respond to your recent prompt. And LLMs don't remember states. States means what? He don't remember what past conversation you had with him. Do you understand me what I'm trying to say with this demo? Everybody, kindly confirm first. LLMs only respond to the recent prompts. LLMs can't remember your past conversation. In short, LLM is not capable to remember your conversations. It's not capable to remember your conversations. So if that's the state, then what we need to do? So see one thing, let me just write down here. What is the first aha moment that we have observed right now? So we can say observation one. Right now with this demo, what you understood is LLM responds and sees your current prompt. LLM responds and sees your current prompt. LLM cannot remember anything. So block diagram wise, if I show this block as LLM, what is an LLM? So LLM is a block that holds all the past knowledge or holds all the knowledge until certain cutoff period time. What LLM doesn't have? LLM cannot remember anything because it doesn't hold any memory. It doesn't hold any memory. So that's the reason why when I asked him the question, what's my name? Soon after I introduced myself to him, for which he responded also. Still, he was not able to answer. Who am I? So why? Because LLM is a model. LLM only understands recent conversation. The current conversation. I'll not use the word recent also. I'll use the word current conversation. So what we need to do to ensure LLM can understand LLM can remember my past conversations. So here we require memory. We require memory. And remember, important thing. Memory is something that we add. We means who? We means who? The GenAI engineers add in their application. So it's an application component. It's not a model component. Do you feel me, everybody? It's an application component. So if I want to create an application, so this is my application that can remember my conversation. In that case, what do you need? You also need to add a component in an application that is capable to remember what conversations I had. So you need to add something called as memory component who is responsible to remember the conversation. So what happens when you supply an input? When you supply an input, what happens? Your input is passed obviously to your LLM. But before LLM responds to something, first LLM will request to provide something called as context from memory. Once LLM has context plus input, LLM will respond based on context plus input. In this case, remember, context means past conversation. Context means past conversation. And at the same time, when he responds, important thing, in step number 3, two things happen. This is step number 3. Step number 3. It will store current conversation. It will store current conversation. So what we are doing here is we are initially, even before we jump into that, we are initially trying to create an application that can remember our conversation, like how ChatGPT does. Yes or no? ChatGPT can remember my previous conversation. Agreed, disagreed, everybody? Why he is able to do that? It is not the GPT that remembers. It is the memory that remembers. GPT, whenever he responds, he will take the data from memory, he will take the current question, then he will use the combination of his knowledge plus memory plus current question to give the response. So remember, the response cycle is like this. So LLM uses what? LLM uses his knowledge plus past conversations plus current input to generate response. And of course, when I say his knowledge, it is there in the, it is imprinted in the model itself. This is coming from memory. This is your human message. And this is the AI message. Everybody understood this part? Everybody understood this flow? Kindly confirm till now. I haven't discussed what is memory and all. I am just discussing the architecture. Basic architecture, but very fundamental architecture. Basic and fundamental. Huh? Once again, don't try to jump anything. Huh? Just we'll go step by step. The next today, tomorrow, and day after, we are only focusing on creating good application architectures. Okay? So short and sweet, what memory holds? Memory holds everything. Memory holds everything. And guys, whatever I'm saying here, let me demonstrate here. Right now, once again, I am not teaching you coding. Kindly be very patient with me. I will teach you coding also, but be very patient with me because I want you to see the things and learn. Now, pay attention. I have created another version of the code, okay? Now, just be very patient with me, kindly. Now, what I'm doing here, right now, if you observe, currently, my memory doesn't have any data. Doesn't have any data. Kindly observe, okay? I'll address all the queries. In fact, those who are asking me queries, everything will be answered here only in this code output. Now, see here. Right now, there is no conversation. Okay, this zero memory means what? This is like a fresh prompt. Fresh prompt means when you open ChatGPT, when you open new chat, this is the state. Do you feel me, everybody? At the back end, my history will look like this. Nothing. A list of nothing. Okay? Now, I have this context with me which I coded above. Now I'm going to supply this context to my runnable, or basically to my chain. Okay, this is a chain basically where I'm passing the human message. Don't worry about other parameters for 2 minutes, please. So see, I am going to supply the input. My name is Prashant Nair. I work for VNext Solutions. This is what I'm supplying him. When I execute this, this is the LLM's response. Now remember what happened here. I given him an input, model gave me the output. Do you feel me? I given him the input, model gave me the output. If I check history now, can you see? He stored my input, he stored the output. I hope most of the questions are answered here. Do you feel me, everybody? Kindly confirm. So this is the memory information. Memory is storing everything. Memory is storing everything. Now, let's continue. Since memory is available now if I ask him question, say my name. I'm sorry. What's my name? What will happen? If I ask this question now come back to my architecture. What will happen? I supply an input. LLM will request context. Okay, so it's a request response. I hope you understand, right? Sync acknowledge. Sync acknowledge. This arrow should be two-way, otherwise you'll confuse. Step number 2 is what? Retrieve context. Context output, LLM. LLM context plus input equals response. Do you feel me when I say this? LLM context plus input is required to generate response. So now if I ask him that say my name or what's my name, can you see the output? Your name is Prashant Nair. How can I assist you further? Is everybody clear with the role of memory in an application? Kindly confirm. A basic application. Why memory is required? I hope this demonstration is enough. Excellent. Once again, don't worry about the coding. Coding will be covered later. Let me continue from here. Okay? Let me continue from here. So what is memory in general? Let me write down here, everybody. So what is memory in general? If I want to give a statement about memory, I can say memory is the ability of the system to store remember the word store, and reuse past conversations. Remember, here we are talking about conversations, not knowledge. I hope everybody's clear with this. Past conversation context. So conversation can act as knowledge, but knowledge is not conversation. Please understand this. Very important statement. Conversation can act as knowledge, but knowledge is not conversation. And you will understand this eventually. You will understand this eventually. What it does, it stores the past conversation. What it doesn't does, it doesn't store knowledge or documents. It doesn't store knowledge or documents. So guys, one more thing that I would like to share you here. Pay attention. Huh? What I'm going to do here is I'm going to restart my application. I hope everybody understands what happens when we restart. When we restart, all the variables will go off. Yes or no? Agreed or not? When we restart any application, all the variables that is created will go off. Am I right or am I right? Kindly confirm, please. Thank you. So here, everybody, if I say LLM dot invoke, if I say what's my name, remember what I did? I loaded the key, I loaded the LLM, I'm asking LLM a direct question. And I hope this makes sense, yes or no? Because what is not available till now in my application? What is not available in my application right now? Because I restarted the application, I only loaded the key, I only loaded the LLM, and I'm asking question directly to LLM. What is not available in my application? Memory is not available. So I need to even attach the memory. Agreed or disagreed? I need to attach the memory. So let me attach the memory. Please note, I am not running these things again. I will attach the memory. I will attach the memory. Sorry. Huh? I will attach the memory. Pay attention, everybody. I am attaching the memory. Oops, where is my chain? Chain I have to define. This is the chain. Forgot to define the chain. Okay. So remember, I am attaching the memory. And even now, see, if I'm asking the question, even now via chain I'm asking question. See, he doesn't know my name yet. Huh? I'm attaching the memory. Pay attention. Memory has been attached. I am not running this. Right now, pay attention. I attach the memory. Can you see he remember the past conversations? I haven't provided these conversations. So no, this was the past conversation. Agreed, disagreed? This is the past conversation. This is the past conversation. Now, if I ask him direct question, what's my name? I'm not running these two. Your name is Prashant Nair. What is the one feature that you learned about memory right now? Memory is a persistent object. It's a non-volatile object. So memories is a non-volatile object. I hope this part makes sense, everybody. Non-volatile means he remembers everything. In short, it is stored permanently until unless I don't delete it. Until and unless I don't delete it. Basically, I have control over the memory, by the way. Okay. Now, in which use cases you will use memory? Use cases means I'm not writing exact use case, but yeah, in which context you will use memory. If I want to write something just for your understanding or notes purpose, I can say like remembering names, or maybe like remembering preferences. So let's say if I am creating a chatbot for a hotel or for a 5-star hotel, and if I want to remember my, like regular customers order or regular customers room preference or what he does, those things, I require memory. Assuming I'm creating a chatbot app for him, or maybe to remember previous questions, because even that helps to understand in which direction that person is going. to remember an ongoing task, something like this. So remember, as an analogy. So no, Sulja, don't say remembering proprietary knowledge. No, as I said, see, memory can act as knowledge if you supply, but memory is not knowledge. That knowledge is something else. Okay. So by design, if I want to give an analogy, I can say memory is like WhatsApp chat history. Yes or no? WhatsApp chat history that is get uploaded. So whenever your phone is deleted, when you restore your phone, your WhatsApp gets restored. Yes or no? Your WhatsApp gets restored if you have created the backup. How? Because that's memory. That's stored somewhere. It helps to continue the conversation. But remember, memory doesn't teach you company HR policy. If I'm creating a chatbot for HR policy or for HR management, memory will not teach the company HR policy until and unless I don't give that memory card, unless I don't teach the LLM about my HR policies. So memory role is to only maintain the state. Remember this important point. It is only to remember the state. But what if I want him to remember my recent knowledge or my custom knowledge? What if I want to make him remember my custom knowledge? So for example, we all know that all the LLMs has a cutoff date. What if there is something happened after that cutoff date and I want LLM to remember that? What if I want to, for example, any recent tragedy happened recently. Obviously, LLM is not aware about that. How to make him remember that or how to provide that knowledge? This is where knowledge storing and knowledge retrieval concept comes into picture. This is where knowledge storing and knowledge retrieval comes into picture. So remember, whenever we work on application development, or whenever we start our journey, people often confuse between memory and RAG. So that's why what I did is I started my lecture with memory, deliberately shown you what is the purpose of memory. Coding we will see later. But one thing that I clarified you all about memory is not about remembering or storing knowledge. It's all about remembering the past conversation. That's it. And I'm sticking to this because later you will realize why we should not involve knowledge in memory directly. Even though you can do it technically, coding wise, you can do it. But why you shouldn't do that is something we will eventually understand. Okay, right now I'll not touch that point. So, like I said, what if you want to maintain a knowledge or you want to share some knowledge? In that case, only and only in that case, you can go ahead and use something called as RAG. The way RAG stands for Retrieval Augmented Generation. Where RAG stands for Retrieval Augmented Generation. So if I want to put a very, what we say, a simple analogy based concept about RAG, analogy, not technical. If I want to give you something analogy based, in that case, let me try to explain what is RAG first. Indirectly, you will also understand when we use RAG and all. Okay, so step by step we are going. Right now, I only clarified about memory. I hope memory part is super clear to everyone. Don't worry about RAG. Don't jump in because I even haven't started RAG yet. I haven't started conversation yet. Good. So once memory is completely clear in your mind, now I can safely teach you that. Now I can safely teach you that because let me tell you, people jumbles every time. Whenever they design an architecture, they jumble and sometimes by mistake they add memory instead of RAG or they add RAG instead of memory. You know, people do that confusion. Beginners basically. So I don't want those to do that. So you should be first clear what is memory. Now, what is RAG or basically when we use RAG? So see, answer is very simple. So if let's assume I have an LLM model, I have an LLM model whose knowledge cutoff is whose knowledge cutoff is, let's say, 2019. Let's assume. If I have a LLM LLM model whose knowledge cutoff is 2019, and let's say right now it's 2025, do you feel LLM will know any updated company policy of 2025 if the knowledge cutoff is 2019, or maybe if the knowledge is 2023, or maybe if it's 2024? 100% no. 100% no. 100% no. Okay. So how to make my LLM recent, or basically how to make my, remember I'm using two different words, LLM recent. This is first question. Second question, how to make my GenAI application recent using the same LLM. See, these are two different questions that you should see. These two questions, the answer is not same. Trust me. The answer is not same for these two questions. Now, first question, how to make my LLM recent? What will be the answer to this? Let me see. Anybody please answer? Shweta says train LLM, correct. Apurva, by feeding the current updated policy. How will you feed the knowledge, Apurva? How will you feed the knowledge, Apurva? Okay, change the model or fine tune, correct. Training, yes. Yes. I am, remember, Surya, RAG is not the answer because I want to make my LLM recent. Okay? So RAG is not the answer. Embedding new document. Mustaq, no, you can't do that in LLM. I'm talking about LLM. I'm talking about the model which is trained in PyTorch, a model that follows transformer architecture. I'm not saying the model that is running in LangChain. No, there is no LangChain LangGraph here. When you say LLM is what? AI development. AI development means what? You train your model. You will have your training set. You will have your testing set. You will train. You will evaluate. Yes or no? Everybody understanding my point? Kindly confirm. You are doing model training. But yes, to make the LLM recent, what you can do? Two options. Number one, train LLM from scratch again with current plus old data set. Or short and sweet, in the world of data engineering, we say with appended data set. This is option number one. Another option is fine-tune LLM such that along with old knowledge pattern, new knowledge pattern, not data, is appended. New knowledge pattern is appended. And guys, people go for the second one. Why? First one, let's assume if the original LLM training required, let's say 25 days. I'm talking about the old one. So this may take additional 2 to 4 days with your recent data. There's a possibility. Plus, this is super expensive. You need to save the environment. Too many graphic cards running. Environment impact. Issues are there. CFC problem. Multiple problems. So what they say? Fine tune. I'm not saying fine tune is easy. Fine tune also may require 5 to 7 days. Practically speaking, because I have worked on it. That's why I know. In real data. Subject to the size of the data also. But yeah, it can take time. It can take time. But comparatively, it will take less time. But still, the model will not be recent. The model's cutoff date will improve. Yes or no? Model still will not be recent. So, in your use case, if your goal is to update your LLM, what we do 90% of the time, 90% of the time, we fine tune the LLM. And when I say fine tune, there are different methods. We have something called as PEFT, in which we have something called as LoRA, called low ranking adaptation, and many other techniques are there. Okay, but this is not in the scope of our course. We are not learning AI development here, by the way. Okay, we are learning GenAI application development. So, question is, remember, none of the time our goal is to make our LLM train. We are not training LLM. Remember, in our entire journey of AI application engineering or GenAI application engineering or agentic AI application engineering, we never train LLM models. Is that clear, everybody? So never think about that. So what we do instead? Because we need to make our data recent, we need to give him the knowledge. This is where RAG comes into picture. RAG can help you make your GenAI application or agentic AI application recent. Make your GenAI application or agentic AI application recent. Okay? So, pay attention here. Rather than you fine-tuning the model or creating the model from scratch, create an application architecture that will comprise the model plus the recent knowledge. So we need to have an application architecture that will have model plus recent knowledge. Plus memory. This shall be used to generate response. Everybody understanding in a nutshell what I'm writing here? GenAI says don't touch the model. GenAI says don't touch the model. Instead, we will create another layer that will hold recent knowledge or domain-based knowledge or technical knowledge or whatever XYZ knowledge. Along with that, we will have main memory to maintain the conversation. Using the combination of three, we will generate the response. Using the combination of three, we will generate the response. So what is RAG in general? Pay attention here. What is RAG in general? RAG in general means it's all about retrieving external knowledge plus generate answer using LLM. So whatever answer is generated by LLM, it is generated based on the knowledge retrieved from some object. So short and sweet, this architecture will allow what? It will allow, I can say, it will allow the LLM model to use, pay attention everybody, to use new private domain specific information. To generate response. To generate response. So as an analogy, you can consider RAG is more like Google plus brain. Google means what? It will search for the right information and then brain will do what? It will explain that information. Google plus brain. So technically speaking, what RAG is solving for you? Technically speaking, what RAG solves for you? LLM plus web search. I mean, just as an analogy. Good. What RAG solves for you? Number one, very important thing. It solves the problem of outdated knowledge. Yes or no? It solves the problem of outdated knowledge. Very important point. It solves the problem of lack of specific or company specific information. Company specific or domain specific information. It also solves something called as hallucination. It also solves the problem of hallucination. By the way, what is hallucination? What is hallucination? I think in your earlier lectures this was covered. I don't know. I'm asking. What is hallucination? By the way, quickly tell me. What is hallucination? No, temperature one is creative. Incorrect response by LLM. Okay. Inconsistent response. See, response will always be inconsistent in LLM. Generating incorrect random response. Okay. Wrong information. Yes. Yuvraj has given a very good statement. Wrong information but looks like correct. All the liars in the world are the best hallucinators because they even lie with full confidence. They lie in such a way that people get convinced with his statement. So LLM also behaves that way. Lying with full confidence. Lying with full confidence. Lying with full confidence. That is called hallucination. So basically, LLM hallucinates a lot because LLMs are designed to give response. LLM will never say, I don't know. Have you ever found any situation in ChatGPT where ChatGPT said, I don't know? Except for the fact when you ask, what is your name? If I ask him any concept, he will always respond, yes or no? Irrespective whether that response is right or wrong. That situation is called hallucination, everybody. That situation is called hallucination. Okay, but remember one more thing. Before even we jump into RAG, you should also know what RAG can't do. So what RAG does not do. Important thing. RAG cannot store conversation history. Do you feel me, everybody? RAG cannot store conversation history. Who stores the conversation history? Who stores the conversation history? Very good. It's memory. Next and very important point, often people forget this. RAG never learn permanently. RAG never learn permanently. RAG never learn permanently. So when you're creating a RAG application, don't think you are fine-tuning your LLM. Don't think you are making LLM learn the recent things. No. RAG doesn't learn anything. What RAG does, it stores your recent data, not knowledge, data. It stores your recent data. Using the data, LLM will generate context and LLM will respond. Or there is a different component that generate context and LLM generates the response. So in a nutshell, what two things we have discussed? Pay attention here. We have memory. What memory does? Remember, memory is to store, retrieve, conversation flow. Correct? And then we have RAG. Pay attention. RAG is also a component of GenAI application. RAG is not an architecture like people say. RAG is also a component. You should see RAG as a component. You should not see RAG as an architecture. I mean application architecture. So what is RAG? RAG holds what? RAG holds external documents. What it can do? It can improve correctness. It can answer from docs. So short and sweet, what you need to remember about these two components? Memory, it's all about the user. So memory is all about remembering about the user. RAG is all about remembering about the world. Think in this way, everybody. It's remembering about the world. So combination of these two can help you. Combination of these two. Now, not just these two, there are many other components, by the way, and there are many more which we'll eventually learn, can help you generate a Gen AI app. Gen AI app. Okay, everybody. So always see memory and RAG as a component. I request you all, don't see RAG as an architecture. Even though people use the word architecture a lot, even in textbooks and all, I will request don't do that. Because once you start working on real projects, you realize RAG is not architecture. RAG is a component in my architecture. RAG is a component in my architecture. Okay, though that component can have an architecture. Okay, it's not even a framework. Trust me, it's not even a framework. Framework is an independent entity. RAG is not independent at all. RAG requires LLM. RAG requires similarity search algorithm. It is dependent on many stuff. It's not a framework. So short and sweet, everybody. Now, what we will do is, we will go step by step again. Because see, lecture is 2 hours per day. If it was 1 day training, this would have been covered everything in one shot. But we will go step by step. First, we will make ourselves comfortable with memory. Then we will make comfortable with components of RAG. Because RAG itself is a big component. So there are some sub-components in the RAG. We will learn individual components in the RAG. And then we will create a RAG application. Once we learn how to create RAG application, then we will create a GenAI application. This will be a 3-day task for me. Today, tomorrow, day after. So I will require your patience so that I can teach you things step by step. Once again, all dots will be connected in the day after tomorrow class. I hope I am clear from my side. Expectations clear? So please don't ask me, Prashant, give me real life application. All those things day after tomorrow. Right now, fundamentals. Hope everybody is with me here. All of you with me? Give me a thumbs up or maybe a yes. All of you with me? Good. Be patient with me till day after tomorrow. I am not Narendra Modi, who earlier said, give me 50 days and I will clear everything. I am Prashant Nair. When I say 3 days, it means 3 days. That's guaranteed. Okay? Chalo, let's start. with memory independently. So, ready for the concept of memory? All of you? Praveen, third day, day after tomorrow. Okay? The question will be automatically answered day after tomorrow. So I'll do one thing still. Let me just explore the chat because I haven't saw any questions. Just give me 1 minute. Huh? Let me explore the chat. If I feel there's any question that I should answer now, I will answer that. Otherwise, I will tell you to park those questions. Okay, adding context. Samir, provide that. Okay, fair enough. Samir, AI agent is also a component in your agentic AI application. The AI agent has no role with RAG. Remember that. Okay, next thing, fine tuning. Okay. Yes, which means it will store memory. Okay. Why from scratch? Why not that? Okay. This is also cool. Apurva, I hope you are getting some clarity now. You said I didn't understand. Little bit, 50% clarity received, because remaining 50% you'll receive it till day after tomorrow. Okay, be patient. Samir, training LLM is only possible if LLM is private or on-premise, or we can train OpenAI LLM as well. Please confirm. We can fine-tune OpenAI LLM, Sarji. The only thing is LLM will be hosted in their platform, but we can fine-tune GPT-5. We can fine-tune GPT-4, just to keep you informed. Can we say that instead of fine-tuning RAG, instead of fine-tuning RAG is the cheapest solution? Shubham, ideally you're right. It is cheapest in terms of hosting. It is cheapest in terms of execution time. It is cheapest in terms of deployment time. Yes. If you want to create a ad hoc application for testing purpose or to display in front of client, creating RAG is easiest way. I mean, less time consuming. Apurva, above you just said that we can't train the LLM now. Why can't we train the LLM now? Training is possible. Apurva, you can train LLM, no doubt, but are you ready to spend that much days? Are you ready to spend that much cost? If yes, you can. Technically, you can. But feasibility, you need to check whether your project budget allows. There are many parameters, Apurva. Okay, Shweta, is there any accuracy? Is there any accuracy difference in training, fine tuning versus RAG for that? In other words, in what situation we will go for training over RAG? Shweta, day 3. This question, in what situation we go for training over RAG compared to fine tuning? This we will kind of understand in day 3. I mean, day after tomorrow. Okay, augmented model. That's proper. Okay, that's okay. This is okay. Okay. Does it mean RAG helps with hallucinations? Jimit, yes. RAG actually helps control hallucinations. RAG actually helps control. See, we cannot eliminate hallucination. Hallucination is the nature of LLM. Okay? Because LLM is designed to always respond something. You know, it's like our normal friend who sits in Chai Tapri responds to everything in the world, whether it's politics or something, even though he doesn't know anything about it. Think in that way, because he's always meant to do some badabada. He's always meant to respond something like that. LLM is like that. LLM is that kind of front end. Okay. So okay, RAG holds, this is from Manish, RAG holds about the world or company specific. So remember why I written the word about the world, because RAG is a combination of knowledge plus LLM. LLM is the world, knowledge is the recent, or basically update. So update plus knowledge equals the world. Clear, Manish? That's why I use the word world. RAG as a component holds knowledge of the world. Remember that. Okay. Surya, okay. Okay. Yuvraju. Okay. Just ask me at the end of the class. I'll tell you what whiteboard, etc. That we'll discuss later. Let me not deviate from here. Just remind me at the end of the class. Huh? Okay. Many users memory, how it is stored. Chiki, how memory is stored and all in this code only we'll understand in detail. Yeah, I'm going to discuss that only. Anurag, if 50% people are using LLM memory is different from each other, that can be single. Is it? Yes, exactly. So 50 people will have 50 sessions. Anurag, that's what I'm going to discuss in the memory code. Right now in this code only, I'm going to demonstrate how the 50 people will have independent sessions. Yeah. Assignment, be patient, Surya. I will be providing. Praveen, that day 3. Size of the memory need to be defined? No, Mustaq. Size of the memory need not be defined. It depends on the system size. LLM fine-tune versus RAG, which gives better output? Both. Both gives best outputs. It depends on how you write the prompt, Praveen. Praveen, the secret for response or better output is prompt. It's not the fine-tune, it's not the LLM, it's not the RAG. It is the prompt that you define. And when I say prompt, I'm talking about the prompt template, not the human message. Okay, Praveen? The prompt template. What is the difference between knowledge pattern and training LLM? Training basically means you're training the model, like model.fit. If you're aware of machine learning, deep learning, model.fit, something like that. Temperature can control hallucination. See, by theory, Praveen, temperature was meant to control hallucination, but temperature doesn't control hallucination. So that's why later OpenAI only changed the definition. Temperature is all about controlling from being factual to being creative. The creative is a very sweet word for hallucination, by the way. Okay. In multi-tenant real-time setup, both memory and RAG depends on the tenant. So do we store these in database? Satish, answer is yes. Okay. Apurva, what is temperature? Please refer to my day 1 lecture. Chiki, what GUF file? GUF file? I am not clear. GUF file, I'm not clear. Okay, whatever. Everybody in the class, can I start memory? I need your permission. Can I start memory now? And once again, guys, we are learning bits and pieces. Hope you all are with me. Hope you are in sync with me. Today, tomorrow, day after, bits and pieces. Day after tomorrow, all connection. Okay? That's my guarantee. Now, let's start. What is the role of memory? Everything we have learned. Right now, I'm going to simply teach you the code. What I have done here, everybody, in the initial phase, I loaded my keys. I loaded my model. Now, see, this is the kind of thing I'm going to do. And this is what we are learning. What we are learning, along with the input, I am supplying history to chain. I hope this diagram makes sense, everybody. Along with the human message, I am supplying the history. And that to history of what? History of the specific user, not the entire history of the world. If I am using ChatGPT, I am getting history of my conversations. Am I getting history of your conversations? No, because we all are separated by some session ID, or we all are separated by some user ID. Yes or no? Everybody agrees to my statement? So same design only I'm going to show you. Same design means, in short, if you are a front-end developer, let me tell you, today you can design your chatbot also live with me. I mean, not with me, of course. I can give you guidance, but you can design your chatbot also. That's the beautiful thing. So remember, the chain this time will not only hold the input. By the way, what does chain will hold, everybody? Chain will hold the template, the model, and the output parser. Yes or no? Yes or no? In the chain, what we do? We have the template, we have the LLM, we have the parser. Okay? What we are supplying right now? Till yesterday, we were only supplying human message and system message. What is the additional thing we are going to supply from today onwards? History or past conversation, or basically everybody in the class. The formal name for this block is called state information. So guys, from today onwards, whenever you hear the word state information, you should think of history. Everybody okay with me? Whenever you hear the word state information, you should think about history. Okay? So based on everything, chain will generate the response. And when I say save response, I hope the word save response makes sense. Save response means what? Even the response generated will be stored back in history. Yes or no? Even the saved response will be stored back in memory. So how to do that? So remember here, pay attention. This code is all about creating the chain. I hope this is clear. A very simple prompt. Okay. Instead I could have hard coded this, but I just put it this way. This is a very simple chain. Chain code clear, everybody? Just go eyeball it once. I'll have a sip of water. Eyeball it. Hot water is a boon. Helps me a lot. Okay. Everybody understand the code I'm assuming, right? We all have learned chain. This is a basic chain. Let's continue. Let's continue. I'm asking the question, what's my name? He says, I am sorry. Why? Because chain is only having what? Template. LLM, string output parser. LLM response based on what? The current data. So what's the answer to this question? We are going to use a runnable with message history class. So in order to properly set this up, there are two main things to consider. How to store and load the message. Where is the underlying runnable that we are wrapping, and what are the inputs and outputs? These are the two things we will consider. Don't worry if you don't understand the statement. I have implemented it for you. So everybody, see here. Two things I am importing. First thing, I'm importing runnable with message history. This is a in-memory object that will take, it's a thread object basically that is responsible to do the save response and to get the history. Remember, do the save response and to get the history, this class is responsible, runnable with message history. And one more thing, creating or calling the session object. The user ID is the session object for me, okay? Now, I have one more class called SQL chat history message. SQL chat history message is used to physically store the conversation in the database. Yes, guys, I made this code production ready for you. Rather than showing you in-memory things, I thought to directly show you how to persist the memory. How to persist the memory. Persistence is important. Okay. So if you observe here, you will see a DB file got created because I'm using SQLite for demo because I don't want to install dedicated database and all. But remember, if you have a dedicated database in your system like MySQL, Postgre or something, all you have to do is just give the connection string here. I hope I'm making sense, everybody. This is a simple connection string of SQLite, but if you're a database guy, if you know how to do Python database connectivity and all, in the highlighted section, you will simply supply the database connection string with the credentials and the database name. I hope I'm clear. So this will create the internal tables and all. This class will create everything for you. Okay, the table name. You can see the default table name created is called message store. Session ID is the session ID. Base converter. All those things are there. Don't go too technical on this. This is very simple thing. Keep it simple in your mind. But remember what I'm making him do. Remember the session IDs. So there's a variable for session ID also. So for every session ID, it will store individual messages. Means Prashant, whatever Prashant is interacting, Aryan cannot access Prashant's interactions. Or Vihan cannot access Prashant's interactions. Or Chiki cannot access Prashant's interactions. Every interaction will be isolated. So multi-tenancy is achieved indirectly. Multi-tenancy is achieved indirectly. So here, please note what I'm doing. I'm creating my final object, runnable with history, in which I am appending my chain and I'm appending my history. So runnable with my message history, appending my chain, appending my history. I created a user ID. Here I'm hard coding this. Now this can be what? This can be your UUID. This can be your email ID. This can be any unique identifier, any primary key, any primary key. Okay. So here, if you observe, I have loaded the user ID. So let me just re-execute because I think I'm executing this for the first time. So I guess this. So right now, this is the old conversion. I will just clear this, okay? Why I'm clearing it? Because I want to restart the execution. So this clear is only useful when you want to delete or basically truncate the table, short and sweet. So right now, there is no conversations. I have my about here. Now I am passing to this object, runnable with history. Remember, runnable with history is what? Chain plus history. And remember, while passing this, what is the first thing I'm doing? Before I do this, see, I have set up my session ID here. User ID is Prashant Nair. History is get session history user ID. So session history has already been set. So always remember the conversation starts this way. In fact, I will put this in one line so that you will remember. So my first step here is set up session ID, or depending on the application designer, get session ID, whatever. Second step, set session ID in history object. Next, query with human message plus history object. So how this history object is coming into picture? Here if you see, there is a configurable parameter in which I am passing my session ID. Please observe. I am passing my session ID. In the human message, I am passing my message or whatever query it is. When I execute this, obviously he will see, hello Prashant Nair, it's great to meet you, so and so and so forth. Now if you see the conversation, see, my initial conversation, my name is Prashant Nair, I work for Renex Solutions, for which the AI message generated, both are stored. Who is responsible to save this? Runnable with message history. Clear everybody? Where exactly it is stored? It is stored in database. Clear everybody? Storing physical storage in the database, doing all the conversation storage is done by this class. Now if I ask him a follow-up question, now see, if I ask him a follow-up question, now pay attention. While asking a follow-up question, hard-coded wise, this is how it asks. So you need to have your user ID set. So what's my name? P Nair, session ID, he is aware. But what if I have another session ID? What if I have Vihan? What's my name? Can you see, can you all witness multi-tenancy? Can you all witness multi-tenancy here? Susendran, your query is answered here, okay? Can you all witness multi-tenancy here? See, session ID was Vihu. He's not bringing the Prashant Nair's conversation, yes or no? He's not bringing Prashant Nair's conversation here, okay? So point is what? I can have separate conversations. I hope I'm clear. Everybody please confirm. This part is clear, no? This is a very integral part of building chatbot. I'm just showing you the backend codes. Okay. So till here, oops, what's happening here? Yeah. So till here, I just demonstrated you the power of memory. Okay. Apurva, it depends on your application design. So this has no relation with LangChain, right? It depends on your application design, correct? The application that you have created, the 3-tier application or n-tier application. Okay. So coming back here, so basically in that scenario, Apurva, you will be designing a user ID combination, right? So it will be a foreign key, maybe primary key plus foreign key combination, or maybe appended value. It depends on your design. Okay. So similarly here, I done the same thing. I just appended all the codes in the below. See, nothing is different here. Okay. I just given a different example saying you are a helpful assistant. That's a system message. Human message is the input. Here now, pay attention. This time I am introducing you with a new concept, and I want you all to kindly pay attention here. If you observe the messages object, the messages object hold 3 things. What are those 3 things? Number 1 is the system message. Number 2 is the history from memory. And number 3 is the human message. Guys and girls, how to load history from memory? You will use a class called messages placeholder. You will use a class called messages placeholder. This class is responsible to append history in your message object. This history is created where? This history was created above. Do you feel me what I'm saying, everyone? Kindly confirm. This history was created above. Okay. So if you want to add history in your template, in your prompt template, which I am doing here by the way, you need to use message placeholder. So this is something you need to know. So this is system message, history, human message. System message, history, human message. Okay. So messages placeholder is responsible to load memory data from storage and append it in prompt template. This is the simple role of message placeholder. Do not overthink. That's my humble request. So format is this: system message, history, human message. That's it. Nothing more than that. Do not think further, do not think back. It's that simple. Keep it simple in your mind. The LangChain developers have created everything super simple for you. They have taken care internally of task switching, multi-threading, everything's been taken care internally. Session management, everything. So here I'm creating a chat prompt template. Here I created the chain. Here I'm creating this object where I'm passing the chain, I'm passing the session key. Please note, since this time I have dynamic variable, I need to specify input key message, input message key, which is the input, and history message key also I need to define as history. Remember now this name matches this name. This name matches this name. Okay. Get session history is the history which I loaded from above. Okay. If I want, I can show you this way. I can do this way actually. I'll copy paste this code also so that you have one cell which has all the code. Otherwise, you will start searching everything. So system. So here what I'm doing is, in this step number 1, set up system message. Step number 2, set up memory for old retrieval. Okay. So this get session history function, from where it is coming? It is coming from here, which loads the data. Yes or no? Which loads the data from the database. Okay. Now, this is step number 3. What is step number 3? Set up human message. Step number 4. Create message object to pass to prompt template. Step 5. Set up prompt template. Step 6. Create chain. Step 7. Set up memory. And connect chain with memory. Simple. 7 steps. And what will be step 8? Go ahead and chat. So here, okay, chain is missing. Okay, I'll do one thing. I'll put chain also above, because let's put everything one place. Even though the code is repeating, I don't care. Let me put it here. Chain already is there. Nothing. Why is the error is saying message placeholder? Oh, okay. I have an important message placeholder. Idiot. Here you go. Okay, now it's done. So now here, if you see, I created a function to chat with LLM. What I need to supply? Session ID and input. Output will be what? Runnable with message history.invoke. Input I supply. Session ID I supply. In short, I created a direct function. So if I say user ID as P_Nair. Hello again, Prashant Nair. It's nice to see you. Hello again means he remembered my old conversation. If I go with user ID Vihan, and in the about, instead of about, if I say here, my name is Vihan Nair, son of Prashant Nair. And here, if I ask the question, hope this will not disappoint me. Hope this AI will not disappoint me. Chalo, thank you. Everybody understood? I just formally created the code. This is how we create in applications. Okay? So I just created a formal code for you. And yeah, here I am just showing the same example. Here I shown the demo of two sessions, by the way. Same thing below also I'm showing. Okay. I'll save this code for you and I'll give you this code, everybody, in the Google Drive. I want you all to first study the code before I start answering all the queries. Be very patient with me. Learn step by step. Everything will be perfect by day after tomorrow. SQL chat message history is the class. Yes. Answer is yes to your Vishal. End of this database only, right? The question is whether you should use SQLite or not. My answer is no. SQLite is only for demo purpose. I prefer Postgre or MySQL. So today is day 4 of our class. So I'm creating day 4 folder. Chiki, mail ID please. I hope my code is saved. Everybody in the class, can you all check and confirm if you can access the code? Get session history, fetches the history, how it is saved. Message with runnable. This class is responsible to save it. Basically, it will do everything internally. Runnable with message history. Satish. Yeah. Everybody, please type CA or can access if you can access the content. And those who want the link, I have shared the link in the chat. Rajiv, no need to install anything. We are using SQLite for the demo. So SQLite is a built-in database in Python. You can execute the program directly, okay? No need to, in the later stage, maybe offline, you can install any database, give the connection string. That's it. Yeah, you can use the SQL viewer and you can see the content, Kishan. You can query the content in the database. That all things you can do. No, Mustaq, it is a normal file. I'll show you here only. See this, day 4, LangChain memory, the notebook. Okay. I'll do one thing, I'll also put it in the chat box for your convenience. And then I'll take the remaining questions. Give me a minute. Kishan, that structure is created by Runnable with message history. That class is responsible to everything. Everything will be created by him. SQL with message history, everything will be done by them. That's what I said. These two classes will take care of creating the structure, creating the tables, adding foreign key. Everything is taken care by them. So they have made our life easy. We are not deep diving into that. Okay. Connect string part. Samir, here. This one. Get session history function. Here you pass your connection string. You need to only give access to your database object with username and password is applicable. That's it. Table creation, structure creation, everything is taken care by SQL chat message history. Data addition, data removal, data retrieval will be taken care by Runnable with message history. Clear? Let me see the previous questions before I answer any recent questions. So Vishal, using SQL chat message history is good enough for, yes, it is good enough. Because end of the day, it's not this class, it is the database that should be powerful. Okay. Is there a size limitation to hold data in memory? Flag message placeholder history. Suji, I will be discussing this tomorrow. Huh? There is a limit, and that limit we will discuss tomorrow. Then what is the difference between message placeholder? Message placeholder is to get the history and put it in prompt template. Runnable with message history is to give invoke command so that I can perform query. How to load history from database? This is get session history doing that only, right? To load history using this. Okay. You can see here I'm showing a history.get messages. This function is showing all the messages. So technically this object has access to messages. Short and sweet. So everybody please take 5 minutes, sharp 5 minutes, go through the code, then we'll proceed further. Apurva, this is your first session with me, right? Yeah. Please refer the last 3 recordings. Everything will be running for sure. Right now, please go ahead and just read the code. Okay? Yeah. Because on day one session, basically my day one, because the trainer was changed. So the day one session, which in your case will be day 5 session, if you check the recording, I even shown how to set up VS Code and all. I given additional videos and all. Go through the 3 recordings, things will be fine for sure. GUFF5. Acha, acha. Okay, you are talking about that. Okay, okay, okay. Chiki, please check your mail. Huh? Let me know if you can access. Surjia, no, we just follow the program. See, internally, these data will be stored in the SQLite. Shweta, why we have message? 1 minute. Let me read the question again. Yeah. Why we have history message key in runnable message history? Okay. When in the message placeholder, we have given the variable context history. Okay. See, message placeholder that I given in the prompt template will hold the past history. But the present data, which I'm conversing, whether it's a human message or AI message, that also needs to be stored in the database. Who will do that? Runnable with message history. Okay. Message placeholder means when you're loading the program, whatever past conversations were there, those are being collected. Two different things. Okay. Mustaq, messages equals system, message placeholder, from where the history, value of history. History is a variable name that I have given. This variable name I'm reusing below. Where is that code? See, this name I have given, this is the name that I'm using here in history message key. Okay, so all the conversations that is loaded, right, that will be loaded in this variable, short and sweet. So in a nutshell, you can say this class is all about creating a variable named history in which it will load all the memory data. Okay. Thus changing the user changes the session here. See, first of all, Krishna, don't mix up two things here. See, our this program that I'm running in Jupyter, this is a single session, number one. Changing session means what? Changing session means changing threads. In this case, when I'm saying user ID P Nair, this is session 1. User ID Vihan, this is session 2, like that. So these are two different threads, and all the threads are isolated to each other. Multi-tenancy is achieved here. Now this can also be a web container where each container is connected to one user ID. So a cube container or something like that. So think in that also in the long perspective, Krishna. But overall, the point is very clear. Overall, the point is uh, session is controlled by this method. We need to create records. Okay, that's answered. Question, Veer. In this step, what's the input message key input as those? Input is set up here, Sarji. Veer. So in the human message prompt template, I'm saying, no, this is the input that you'll receive. So I'm declaring that my input key message will be input. Because this input I need to store here so that he can remember and he can store this way. The human message also must be stored in history, right? So to extract human message, he will refer to the input variable. That's what he's doing. So I'm declaring that in advance. Rajiv. So Rajiv, that configurable code, no? So that configurable code is to set up the session ID, to declare the session ID. This human message belongs to which session ID? That's what I'm declaring here. Clear, Rajiv? This human message belongs to which session ID? If I overwrite the same question, will it refer to the only recent answer? Okay, let me do one thing. See here. Right now, let's see what's there in the history. Where is my history object? Pay attention. Huh? This is for you. Sanchitpa. See here. Right now, this is for P Nair, okay? So how many, that's the conversation is, my name is Prashant Nair, I work for BZX Solution. Hello again, Prashant Nair. Now I'm going to put a conversation again. Here I will say, my name is Prashant Premanand Nair. Now if you see here, can you see, it just appends all the messages. It will not update any message. It's like upsert operation, append operation. Clear? Sanchipta, I hope this is clear. Yeah, okay. Is there any limit on history, how much data it can save? limit depends on your database object storage. So Mitra, clear? Because you're storing it in database physically. If your database is capable, system is capable. But yeah, there is a limit that you need to take care for the LLM, which I will discuss tomorrow. Okay? Not in terms of storage. There is something else which we need to consider. That we will be learning tomorrow. Okay, everyone. Can I proceed? Just one more program. Everybody, requesting all of you to stop your work. Of course, offline, you need to study. Huh? No other option. 2 hours lecture. Can't help it. Okay, see ya. So now the next thing that I want you all to get comfortable with is now we will start our journey of RAG, but we will go step by step in bits and pieces again because I want you to get comfortable with each components. That's why the first thing that we are going to learn is how to load data from a file. So we are going to explore something called as loaders. We are going to explore something called as loaders. So LangChain offers many loaders through which you can access or you can load many files. So just let me just set up this quickly. All these things I will provide you, don't worry. Just for demo purpose, I'm just setting up everything. Okay, everything is fine. Chalo. So first of all, everybody requesting all of you to stop your work and check my screen. I'll answer all the queries later. Right now, give me 5 minutes of my time. Okay, see you. So what are loaders in general? So I can say loaders are core part of LangChain framework designed to ingest data from various sources like text, PDF, web page, database, emails, and more so that you can process, chunk, embed, or use it in RAG or LLM pipelines. So we are learning the first stage of RAG, that is loading data. Because we need to load the knowledge, right? So to load the knowledge, what we need to do? So we are going to use different types of loaders. Why? In LangChain specifically, to store, I can say, the data must be represented in the form of document object. The data that you intend to add as knowledge must be represented in the form of document object. So here I am just showing you how to load the data such that you get a document object. So there are different types of loaders, everybody. The first one is the text loader. The purpose of text loader is to load plain text files or strings. So please note here I am using text loader class in which I am simply loading demo.txt. So demo.txt is this one, a very simple demo.txt, 2 lines deliberately. So if I just go ahead and load it, very straightforward. See, I'm just ensuring one thing. Wherever is my notebook, in the same location I have my file. That's why I'm giving the file name only. Otherwise, you need to give the exclusive path or something similar. Okay. So here, if you see, if I open docs, if you see, docs is holding the document object, which contains what? Pay attention. Very, very useful for us. It contains metadata containing the name of the file from where the data is received and the content of the file. Name of the file, content of the file. Okay. Similarly, PDF loaders, as the name suggests, it is to extract text from PDF documents. Now remember, PDF must have text only. You should not have the scanned copy of a document. It cannot do OCR. So because this is something I am clarifying in advance, because what people does is sometimes they do get PDF access, some containing images, and they are saying data is not loaded. No, PDF loader is only to load text content from the file. Okay. So for that very important thing, there is a third-party tool that you may need to install called PyPDF. So for that, I have given the command here. So I have this demo.pdf. This is the PDF, by the way. I just randomly copy pasted this sentence from Wikipedia, by the way, just for demo. So yeah, if I just execute this, you can see the output here. Module not found. Okay, yeah. Can you see? Even when you will execute, you will get this error. No module name PyPDF. And when you get this, see, deliberately I haven't kept this in requirement.txt because I wanted you all to be aware about the dependencies. Remember, PyPDF loader depends on this package, PyPDF. Just to give you that knowledge only, I have done that. So as usual, what I will do, I'll open my terminal. I'll ensure I'm in the correct environment and I will run my pip install command. After running pip install command, what I will do, I'll go back here, I'll hit it and it will work. Okay. Deliberately I have done this, everybody. So you can see in the metadata, you can see the creator is PyPDF, creation date is so and so, title is untitled document, source is demo.pdf, total pages 1, and the page label 1, page content is so and so. So remember, page content is the parameter name to load the content. Whereas here, when I'm using text loader, here also page content. So see, LangChain made our life very easy. Okay, unified names. Similarly, if you are loading the data from a website, this is exactly, I can say, whatever website link you give here, whatever page link you give here, it will simply scrape it. I mean, it will simply get the HTML file. That's it. Nothing more than that. You can use web-based loader here. And for this also, this web-based loader depends on the package name Beautiful Soup. BS4. So those who are from Python background, and those who have done web scraping earlier, you may have heard of this package named Beautiful Soup. So this package, web-based loader, depends on Beautiful Soup. If I execute this in front of you right now, it will throw an error saying module not found. This is a warning. You can ignore the warning. You can see the error called no module name BS4. So BS4 is something which you need to install manually, for which I have given the command. Once again, I haven't done this to irritate you. I deliberately done so that you can remember that these classes are dependent on some packages. That's the reason why I am focusing on this part, everybody. Even when you will do it in your system, you will also get these errors because I gave you requirements file, so I know what I have given you. Okay. So once again, same story. Pip install BS4, you will do it. Once done, come back here, execute it. You can see here. So this is the page content. Example.com, by the way, is the official website, huh? Just to keep you informed, in which it's a simple HTML page output. Someone has created this for testing purpose, by the way. Similarly, directory loaders. So if you have a directory like this, for example, I have a directory called dataset containing set of files. So if you have a directory and if you want to load the entire contents, entire files from the directory, you can use directory loader. Now once again remember, directory loader depends on package unstructured. So if I try this right now, it will give me a module error called no module named unstructured. Okay. So here I will say I'll install this. Once again, guys, I'm not seeing any questions. Huh? Right now, let me complete this. Pip install unstructured. Unstructured once it's installed. Now if I try this, bingo. You can see this file, this content, this file, this content, like that. Okay. Now, next. CSV and data frame loaders. CSV loader, I hope the name itself says everything. Load the CSV file. I have a file called 50startups.csv here. If I execute this, you can see source, first record, this is the content. Second record, this is the content. Third record, this is the content, so on and so forth. Okay. And please note, my file had headers. My first record is a header CSV file. That's the reason why this loader can bifurcate R&D spend this data, admin spend this data, marketing spend this data, state this data, profit this data. If my CSV doesn't have header, it will source C0, C1, C2, C3 like that. Basically, it will give default values of column names. Similarly, if I want to load the data from database, I will be using SQL database class and I'll be using SQL database loader. Very, very important thing, your database connectivity, drivers must be installed. In this example, I'm using test.db. This is the test.db, which is created via SQLite. I'll be providing you all these things. I'm just doing a simple select star from employees. If I execute this, you can see in my database, I have only one object, I mean one record. So that same record has been reflected here. So guys, in this complete notebook, I have given you different varieties of data loading. Okay. Right now, we are only focusing on loading. The goal of loading is to load the data from the file and represent the data in the form of document object. Load the data from file and read and represent the data in the form of document object. Document object will be used further for chunking, for retrieval, for everything. Your data, like those who are working in Python pandas, if you want to work with pandas, your data should be in data frame format. Those who work in R, your data should be in data frame format, right? Those who work in databases, the data should be in table format, so on and so forth, like that. Similarly, in LangChain, if you want to work in RAG, your data must be in document format. Simple and straightforward. So first, let me give you this code and everything in the Google Drive. Then I will individually take questions. Be patient with me again. First, let me load the content. Everybody in the class, can you please check and confirm if you can access the material? First, confirm me that. Then I'll take questions independently one by one. Everything is there, no? Including the data set and everything, not just the file. Yeah, perfect. Okay, I'll just see questions one by one. I'm just scrolling up my chat box. Be patient with me. Yeah, thank you. So Anurag Desai, LLM is in cloud, history is in local DB. So does history get sent to LLM? Yes, it will be sent to cloud. Correct. Your data will travel to US if it's OpenAI. Sanksipta, if PDF has images, will the loader disregard those images and use only text from PDF and throws error? It will throw error. If you know that you are working with scanned images or something like that, in that case, don't use this PDF loader. Don't use PyPDF loader. Instead of this, you can use unstructured PDF loader. See, practically, you should use Tesseract PDF loader. Amazon offers a service called Tesseract. It's a online OCR service. So if I were you, I'll just show you the code snippet for you. I cannot show you the because I need the keys and all. But yeah, it will be something like this. So it will be like something like from LangChain community document loaders. I will import Tesseract, Amazon Tesseract PDF loader. I'll be using this. So it will be like this: loader equals Amazon Tesseract PDF loader, whatever your scanned PDF, scanned.pdf, something like this. And then same thing, okay, docs equals loader.load. You feel me what I'm trying to say? But yeah, for this is a paid service. You need to give the API keys and all. You need to set up via Boto 3 or maybe Amazon API in your system. Then only it will work. Okay, this is for those who are talking about the scanned or OCR. If you want a free one, if you want a free one, the free of see why I don't encourage free one. I have worked in production. Free one really sucks. I don't use it. This is the one I personally use. Another is the offering from Google. In Google also we have something called Document AI Parser. You can use that also, by the way. I'll just put it as a comment for you. Another option, another production option will be this is from Google. The name is Document AI Parser. You can just search this in Google and you'll get the details and all. You can use this also. This is available in the LangChain community. I guess I can just show you the this also. LangChain community dot document loaders. I will import document uh, document AI Parser. Not there. AI Parser. They removed or what? Google. Google. Where is that? Where is that? Where is that? I think they have removed it. I'll just recheck the based on this version what it is. I'll just recheck. But yeah, you can search document AI parser. You'll get the detail. But if you are still looking for the free one just for study purpose, you can use something called unstructured also. So like something like this from LangChain community dot document loaders. Sorry, document loaders, not transformers. My bad. I will import unstructured PDF. What I think it's PDF loader. Let me check. Unstructured PDF. This one. You can use this basically, in which you can simply say loader equals unstructured PDF loader, in which I can pass my file name, let's say scanned.pdf, and here I can say strategy. There's a parameter called strategy. Strategy equals OCR only. You can use this. This is another option which you can try. But this is, trust me, it's not that good. I mean, I have personally tried it. That's why I'm saying it's not that good. Okay. So I hope that answers the query. Next, Aarti Krishna, why your terminal has ZSH instead of CMD? Because I'm using Mac OS, right? Jimit, I have seen some projects use Tavedi for web scraping. What is that? Jimit, hold that question. Hold that question. When we learn agents, Taveli is something I'm going to show you. At that time, I'll discuss. Next. Vishal, then why are we importing LangChain community loaders if we have dependency of beautiful? LangChain community loaders have these classes, but these classes are dependent on those packages. Okay. Transitive relation. Shubham, can we load PDF which contains tables? Okay, can we load PDF which contain table? Correct? Yes, you can. If then how the table values will be read? No, it will be read as a string. It will be read as a string. Table and all is there, but system will not directly understand that it's a table. For that, see, for the system, it's just a string. You feel me? It's just a string. So mostly you can use the same PyPDF loader if I'm not wrong. You can use that only. And maybe, see, I don't want to really get into outside LangChain world, but there is a package called Camelot, Camelot. You can just write it down somewhere. Using Camelot, if the PDF contains table, the entire table structure can be extracted and it will be stored in CSV also. Or it can be created as a data frame also, a pandas data frame. Once again, I don't want to go out of topic, Shubham, but I'm just giving you the name of the package for your reference. You can search for this package. I have responded in the chat box. Okay. Ashwak, for directory load, do we need to explicitly mention file formats in Globe? Ashwak, it's applicable if you know your directory is messy. If you feel your directory is not messy, no extra files, no need to supply. You feel me? But we have a standard practice to follow. Standard practice says it's better you do it for safety reasons. Okay. Now, Jimit, do we also have OCR loader like other loaders? Jimit, I think I have answered that query. Uh, Mushtaq, where are you specifying path of files? I just see names while mentioning loading. Yeah, so when I say names, it means that wherever is my notebook, in the same location I have those files. That is the assumption, Mushtaq. Otherwise, you can give full path. So you can give something like this. So like slash users. I mean, if you're the Windows user, I'm assuming. So C data scan.pdf. You feel me what I'm saying? Something like this you can do. Okay. Can we still use PyPDF if PDF has image? Arti Krishna, I think I have answered that query above. Next. Also, can we load JSON images, videos after loading yeah, so see, there is JSON output, there is JSON loader also. There for images also, basically you can use the OCR loader. Okay, and text to speech. You need to use the paid service of Google, but Google text to speech class is available, which you can try. Vishal, how can we make our chat application secure? As you mentioned, if we are using OpenAI data stored in cloud, so don't use OpenAI. That's the answer, Vishal. See, your data, if it's following the compliance of ISO 27001, and if there's a concern of border limitation, then you cannot use OpenAI. It's that simple and straightforward. You need to go for some other LLM that is hosted in India. Clear? This is specifically for finance data I'm talking about, Vishal. Otherwise, remember, even OpenAI follows the same ISO standards. So technically, since compliance is matching, we can work on it. But location dependency, or basically we call it that boundary thing, if that is applicable in your project, like for finance data, in India, basically the finance data is applicable, right? In that case, obviously, you cannot use OpenAI. It's that straightforward. Okay. Anurag, if I have large table, I pass it to LLM, will it increase the token cost? Obviously, yes. Surya, OCR, not mine, good for table extraction, open source. Okay. GDPR violation. Yeah, if there's any GDPR violation, Surya, then no other option. You need to use the LLMs hosted either in India, any providers are there, or else you need to host your custom LLM in your setup. Satish, I cannot directly answer yes, I cannot directly answer no. It depends, right? It depends on the compliance factor. In fact, the security team will answer that correctly. You feel me, Satish? Because I have worked on projects where I have used foundational models of Amazon, AWS services, AWS hosted in Mumbai. And yes, we have deployed many projects even for finance domains. So, but their compliances were in sync. Certain projects compliances were not in sync at that time, obviously, we failed. So guys, coding I hope is simple till now. Loaders, memory, conceptually all okay. And if you check your Google Drive, I have even uploaded the notes. I hope my notes are visible. Please confirm once. I hope the notes are visible. The notes which I prepared live in the class. Perfect. Good. Fortunately, I'm in CST time. Oh, okay. Thanks. Suja, very common situation. Accenture, which project? I mean, I am working with them for one of my consulting work. Yeah, they have hired me. Let's see if we ever get a chance to meet. Okay, Samir, could you please share document on what's the security practices? Samir, there's no single document, unfortunately, but ask me this question on the last day. I'll hint you with some website names. In AWS also, there are some website documents. I'll share you those white papers. But remind me on the last day, okay? Not now. Park that question. Out of context question, how many of you are from Pune here? Anybody from Pune location? Okay. Thane. अरे आमची Thane. Good. So the 4, 5, 6. No, I have my base in Mumbai. I have my base in Pune. Both the locations. Mumbai, Borivali, Pune, Hinjawadi. Aiga. Wow. So there are many people from Mumbai and Pune. Good, yeah. In Pune, I guess there will be a summit, AI summit. The I am about to get that invitation. I'll be the speaker. If it's within this period, I will share the invite to you. All those interested can come, free of cost. It's a AI summit hosted by AWS. I'll be one of the speakers there. So those who are interested can come. I'll share the passes. But I don't know. Yeah, yet to confirm. There. I mean, it will be mostly on December end or January mid. But they will be releasing the invite soon. So it's I will be giving a delivery speech on security practices in LLM. So that's the topic mostly. Once again, it depends on my timing. But the timing they are asking me, I have some commitments. Let's see. Hope I'll be there. So everybody, I hope what I want you all to do now is go through and revise everything. In tomorrow's class, we will continue with chunking, embedding, and retriever. These three things we are going to cover in tomorrow's class. Okay, everybody? So let me just write down here. So today we have covered what? Day 4 specifically, we have covered memory and loaders. Day 5, that is tomorrow, we are going to cover splitters. We are going to cover embedding. We are going to cover retrievers. This is my agenda for tomorrow. Assignment I'll give tomorrow because without completing embedding, I don't want to give any assignment. So right now the only assignment is revise all the code again. And please master chains. Okay? Revise the code, same code 10 times. I want you to master the chains part, especially the router chain and all. Because we are going to combine everything in RAG. Okay? So, one more thing. Samir, temperature basically, like I said, Samir, have you attended my day one? Just curious to know because I have discussed temperature. Just go through the recording now once. And I will see, I will be sharing some basically some ebooks later, but not now. I'm just waiting for certain topics to be completed before I share the ebooks. Okay, be patient with me for now. Chiki, you know the policies doesn't allow that, but you all are smart. You know how to bypass. That's all I can say. Does security practices covered in LLM guardrails as well as a subject topic? It's not in the scope of our course, Jimit, unfortunately, because 30 hours course we can't expect anything, everything. But yeah, security practices, guardrails, they are interrelated to each other. Yeah. Hope that summit will happen and hope I will be available. If possible, attend that. There you will learn 2 hours. I'll teach only guardrails. But I'll be using their AWS offerings also, obviously, because they want me to do that, not the open source one. Okay. Whiteboard is quick player. Yeah, I mean, I personally love to use whiteboards wherever applicable. We reinstall Anaconda, reinstall VS Code. Something package is corrupted. Are we covering that grounding? See, indirectly I will cover, not officially, Surja, obvious reasons because it's not in the scope of our course. But when we start agentic design pattern, indirectly I'll cover that. Even guardrails, see, I'm not committing anything, but guardrails is indirectly I'll be covering in agentic design pattern. But don't expect details, huh? That's my humble request because if anybody tells me, Prashant, teach me optimization of for agentic application, I will ask them 24 hours time. It's that huge. Okay, so I guess if there are no more questions, I request you all to go ahead and type NQ confirming no questions for now. And those who are attending my class today, I request please go through the last 3 recordings, because then you will feel connected. Otherwise, right now you will feel little disconnected. Okay, thank you very much. Samir, parameters. So different parameters of models you are talking about, I'm assuming, right? Okay. So guys and girls, once again, same story. Feedbacks are important. My stakeholders are looking into feedback every day. Obvious reasons, they want to check and ensure you all are having a great experience or you are having a worst experience. They need to know that. So requesting all of you to kindly participate in today's feedback. Happy with the session. Please give a score of 5. Share your kind words. Once again, thank you very much for handling me with patience, because even some of my colleagues, some of my employees says they require patience from me also to get handled, they, I mean, they talk a lot about me. So I hope you are able to handle me well. You are able to tolerate me well. Okay. So with that note, I guess we are good to close the class now. Okay. Any other questions? No more questions, I believe. Most of you said NQ. Okay. Thank you for your kind words, everybody. See you all in tomorrow's class. Have a great day, all of you. Bye bye.